Alright, so quick disclaimer before this video begins. I do mention a girl named Ree, who I quickly find out is actually Stargirl, and Stargirl is one of my friends. So, Stargirl, don't take anything I say too personally or personally at all. What's up, guys? I'm mdog. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're gonna not expose, but just address this kid who's been trying to, just bully me, my friends, and I don't play that. So, this all started when I told Panda to join my clan. Then, my boy responds with, why is your win loss 0.35? And then he says, join his. And then, this dude, KnightofJustice, comes out of nowhere and says because he camps for his KD. Now, do you guys know what camping is? If you do, then you know he makes no sense. Right about now, camping is when you have a target finder and you sit in one spot. So I told him the truth and said that he doesn't sound too bright. Go see my games. Then he has the time to respond, stop bragging about my stats. But wait, who is bragging? Do you get that offended that you... let me continue. Resetting my stats on a 4-year-old game. Does it matter how old this game is? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's continue, please. And then I respond, saying, aren't you the same kid who trash talks on Miiverse to everyone? And I'm gonna give you evidence just in a minute that he trash talks to everyone. And I just basically said the stuff that I just told you guys. And I did say I'm not replying to him, and I did reply back to him because he was sounding very ridiculous. So, yeah, I guess that's on me. I mean, I don't know why it matters, but then I also say you can sit here and talk to yourself because I wasn't intending on replying. So then he writes a to-do list. 1, why would I be talking to myself if I'm replying to your comment? Maybe take a hint because I wasn't intending on replying to you. That's the only reason why I said that. He said, I wouldn't say I trash talk, just tell the truth. But, wait, I can't handle the truth, right? Oh, wait, he says that, yeah. He says I clearly can't handle it. But I don't camp. So, that just makes no sense. Year 2 is, makes no sense. And then I first started because I wasn't proud of my stats. Then he says, do you know how contradicting that statement is? If I believed that it didn't display, in some cases it does display how good you are, and you wouldn't run a rock a 1.09 KD, so I first started and got a 3.30. You wouldn't want to have a 1.09 KD, and I never implied that, so I mean that what is contradicting? I never told you anything. But no, then he goes on. He says, your logic makes no sense. Again, I didn't say that it didn't display whatever. And then he says, trash talking for 4 years? Are you assuming things now? And then he was like, at this point, I'm digging a hole. Okay, I also have evidence for that as well. So we're gonna see how bright you sound in a few seconds. Then he says that's what happens to people who can't handle the truth. Nah, bruh. Looks like you can't handle the truth. My 3.30 KD was the truth. And I didn't camp. That was the truth. Looks like you can't handle that. And then his little girlfriend. I have evidence that I have evidence for everything, don't I? But I swear, this is like his sidekick. Mason, you say I don't camp when I don't. You say I camp when I don't. How do you explain this clip? Oh, I can explain it perfectly. But, Go ahead, continue. We can clearly see that you are sitting at the back of the map. 3 KD with a score per minute less than 300. It's so obvious. And you also shouldn't dashboard. Don't mind my clan tag. I can't even see your clan tag, so don't try to act nice now. Now, we're going to address what you just said here. Alright, so first of all, at the time, I had a 250 score per minute, right? For any of you who have ever played Black Ops 2 Wii U, you know how dead the servers are, right? And so if I have 50 score less than 300, I think that's not camping. But nah, we're not finished. Ready? She says, how would I explain this clip? I'll explain it in a minute. You should quit dashboarding. Wait, okay, so she's assuming that I dashboard. Dashboarding means turning off your console. Now, this is not the Nintendo Switch where you can go to the home page, close your game, and then go back on 3 seconds later. This is Wii U, where you turn off your console. It takes freaking 30 minutes to reboot and go back to the same game. Alright? I don't have time for that. Now let me explain this clip that is quote unquote, or she acts like it's impossible to explain. So we were playing Cargo, or I was playing Cargo solo, and I went all the way to the other side of the map, not camping if I'm on their spawn. And if I'm trying to get a spawn trap, and if you're just waiting for them to spawn for 10 seconds, I'm pretty sure that doesn't count as camping. I mean, yeah. What do you think? Now, I say dashboarding equals turning off your console, meaning I don't have time for that. This is basically what I said. And then I said my score per minute was always under 300 until the time I'm recording this one. It's over 300. And I just told her I don't care about her clan tag. And I said take care, aka F off. I mean, Knight already came out of thin air in this conversation. I don't need you to do the same. And so at this point, I was getting a little more aggressive. I was like, yo, I know there's something wrong with you. Then I say a feature in Miiverse is that you can see the date that someone commented. I mean, look at my comment. Right next to my name is the date and time that I have commented. And then I'm saying, you basically sit here and defend your statement that I camp, when I clearly don't. You could check out my recent games, because at that point I had unblocked them. But yeah, you could check out my recent games, and then you could decide if I camp or not. I should really have a 400 score per minute, but that's alright. I mean, I kind of don't know how it makes sense that if I unblocked you and you keep defending that I camp when I don't, and you can't just simply go ahead and check my recent game. I just don't get that. So now I go ahead and say I can't handle the truth, but what you said isn't true. So I corrected you. You can't seem to handle that. It ends here for me, which it doesn't, because I end up replying one more time. So this is wasting both of our times, especially yours. And that's what happens when people can't handle being corrected by their own mistake. I mean, come on. Oh my gosh. Alright, what does he have to say? Then he goes on and says, so much for not replying. How weak? Isn't not replying weak? I see your point. Okay, I'll give that one to you. I'm not going to waste time checking if you're camping. Alright, so he didn't look for himself, and he still tries to prove that I'm camping with no evidence. Oh wait, speaking of evidence, he says, 2 pieces of false evidence have already been shown, yet you still deny the idea of camping. I need to stop being in denial. Can someone please call the mental institution for this kid? Just look at his me. Okay, in all seriousness, I mean, whatever evidence you got, I kind of just proved that it was false. I uploaded countless gameplays on this, none of which were camping. So, well, let's see your response, even though you wouldn't say you would respond again 2 times. A man who goes back on his word equals man. I am not a man yet, but okay. Maybe if you didn't sound so stupid, maybe, just maybe, if you didn't sound so ridiculous to the point where you needed to be addressed to top. Have you thought of it that way? Didn't really think so. Your brain doesn't work like that, does it? Then I said not addressing everything you say when you're giving me the Declaration of Independence. You want the last word? You get it. I mean, you're blind if you think I camp, because I literally do not camp. You and your little girlfriend, I mean, come on now. And I promised that was my last reply. Then I called him the N-word, and then, you know, just got a little more aggressive from there. Because I'm not trying to, you can see I put it in space. I'm not trying to get banned off of Beavers. But no. Like, didn't I tell you he was gonna want to get the last word? And so he did. I already lied to myself thrice. I'm not gonna be surprised if you lie to yourself again. Hold up. But if I don't camp, how am I lying to? Okay, I'm not blind. Are you sure? I mean, I said that the last video I made about you. Are you sure? You'll give me a pass. Wait, hold on. He said no more excuses. I'm not the only one in this. Well, whatever. I'm not the only one in this community. How would you know if you don't trash talk everybody in this community? 250 score per minute. Hold on. Let's look at your score per minute because you're really no one to speak right now. Alright, so as we can see, it's a 3.47 KD with a 270 score per minute. Now, in this post, he does state that people may roast me at my score per minute, but you gotta start somewhere. As we can see, he has 25 days played. And if you do the math, I had a 3.30 KD with a 250 score per minute. But if he had a 3.47 KD and a 270 score per minute, doesn't that mean, by his logic, doesn't that mean he would also have to camp, quote unquote, camp for his KD too? Bro, why are you still talking? He says not addressing everything you say when you're giving me the Declaration of Independence, proceeds to say, I have every right. LOL, nice kid. How do you know how old I am? I mean, I did state it on my YouTube page, but it's not like you watch. And then he's like, you sure are making a convincing argument. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to say that word. Stop pretending to be something you're not. Now, if he were to say, please don't use that word because people died being or attempting not to be called it, then I can understand. But if you don't know what I look like, just because I don't like how they made the dark-skinned me's and I decided to make my skin on my me character light, how are you assuming? I mean, I'm just assuming that you don't look that ugly by your me character. I'm just saying you don't. I'm assuming that you don't look that ugly. I mean, but I'm pretty sure your attitude is. Just saying. And then this one comes over here in thin air once again, acting like she doesn't know what dashboarding is. And then she's like, I think you have also might have forgotten dashboarding counts towards your win and loss, but doesn't affect your KD, which appears to be what you're doing. Is it not? No, it's not. You act like you sit here and watch me through my window playing Call of Duty. I was being mature and not replying, but your boyfriend over here just roasted all my friends, so I had to make this video. Then the homie tracking roast KnightofJustice. Now, before all of this, tracking and KnightofJustice got into a conflict themselves. And let me show you. Now, the funny thing is that School Photo, or KnightofJustice, claims he could beat tracking. Tracking quickly closes that down and is like, bro, you have no chance, just look at our stats. I mean, look, you lied about beating Green, you lied about being the #1 1v1er on Wii U. What else are you gonna lie about? Bro, Days clipped you. And where were you? At the back of the spawn. Nice making a video about you.